Hi again. This third video is going to be about my perennial vegetables. So let's go take a look. So this is my perennial vegetable bed. This area of my garden has gone through a lot of changes over the years. It used to have like raised beds or rows and a lot of annuals, kind of experimental things. And over time, as I learned more and got more interested in perennial vegetables, I was like, you know what? I'm going all in. This is going to be all perennial vegetable land, or, you know, biennials, or just kind of whatever pops up. A lot of self-seeding things happen in here. So the first of all is kale, and there is nothing particularly special or perennial about this kale. I think it's just red Russian kale, but it is so good at self-seeding and just coming back. We had a pretty mild winter, like, thank goodness, honestly. I mean, you know, climate disaster, etc., but my kale overwintered. The leaves themselves are great, they're delicious, but if you see there, it's making flower buds, and pretty soon, in a few weeks, it's going to send up flower. It's windy. Let's wait for the wind to stop. It's going to send up flowers that are so delicious. They're like the best part of the kale, and bees love it, and they like smell good and they taste sweet. So that's really fun. And so I have a ton of kale. There's kale there, there's kale there, there's kale there. Oops. There's more here, and there, and there. And there's like a big tree of it over there. So yeah, kale. Love it. It's not a perennial vegetable, but this tree, it's a pretty new tree here. This is a Shipova, which is a cross between a pear and a mountain ash. And I learned about this also, like with the autumn olive. You can see that ugly bench behind it, sorry. I learned about this at Inspiration Farm from Brian there, and he really recommended this, so I'm giving it a try. I've never had the fruit, but I like to experiment. Oh, dandelion. And right behind that dandelion is this thing. This is Turkish rocket, an excellent perennial vegetable in the brassica family. And the main part you eat of that, which has not come up yet, are it makes like little flower heads, little kind of like mini broccolis, and those are delicious. And you just use it kind of like broccoli or kale, just cook it, saute it. I'm not really like a gourmet chef person, but for breakfast I usually have like eggs and then some kind of like mixed up vegetables, cooked vegetables. You know, so anything goes in there. Greens, zucchini, potatoes, onions, whatever. So it's great mixed in there, especially now that's like nettle season. These are fava beans. These are not perennial, but I think they're so good, so I got some of those. More kale. Let's see, what else? There's some things in here that haven't really popped up yet, but some things have. Like this. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's plantain. Okay, never mind. Behind it, this is skirret. I have one here, and there's one there, and I have another one somewhere else, but skirret is in the carrot family, and it makes not like a taproot, but lots of like little kind of fingery long roots that are starchy and taste kind of like a parsnip. They're very good. It's like probably the tastiest root vegetable, perennial vegetable. And it gets tall too. The plant itself gets pretty tall and like kind of open with really pretty white flowers that bugs like. I love it. And one nice thing about this is in the fall is when you harvest roots. When you dig it up to harvest, you can clip some of the longer roots off to eat, and then you take the crown, the kind of top part of that, and you can like cut it with your shovel, divide it to make more plants, and you just replant it. So these are from Crown Divisions. I had I think 3 plants I dug up last year, and I made like 15 total. So I replanted some and I potted some up to sell. Very easy to divide. I actually have some started from seed in my greenhouse too. What is this? This is, oh gosh, earth chestnut. That's what that is. And this is another perennial vegetable that's like a root crop. It's also, I think, in the carrot parsley family. It's not as like prolific, like it doesn't make as much food. It's kind of new to me, so I'm just kind of letting it go and seeing where it goes. But I'm a fan of like diversity, like having lots of different things, because I like to experiment and I like to propagate and I like to try new foods and just have that sort of like nutritional diversity in my garden. More kale, not a perennial but chard. Just shout out to chard, love it. Just comes up very easy, tastes great. It's great in soup. Okay, these are two new brassicas I got. Felt very excited to get. This one is the Tontondine tree kale. I got this from Planting Justice in California, and so I haven't eaten it yet because it's baby. Just gotta let it grow some more. But it's one of those ones you keep reading about and you're like, oh man, I gotta have it. Similarly, this one here is the Daubenton kale, which is another rare perennial kale. So yeah, anytime I see the word rare, I'm like, well, I need that. And it's not easy to find, but eventually they had it in stock and I was able to get those. So we're just gonna kind of let those grow this year and see where they go. Behind it is your garden variety, garden sorrel. This is nice. It's very like lemony, kind of tart tasting. You don't want to go crazy on it because it's got a lot of oxalates in it. But you know, just add it to your mixture of greens that you're cooking and it's a great addition. Got lots of oregano. Does anybody want oregano? Actually, it spreads. It comes up everywhere. But oregano is nice because it's actually like a very medicinal herb. It's like antiviral, antibacterial, I think, and bees love it. Great pollinator plant. It's kind of nice ground cover. Just sort of spreads. You know, very aromatic. So it's not bad. It's just I don't need any more. More kale. This is a perennial kale. You can see how like tall like the trunk is or whatever. It looks shabby on top though. Womp womp. It got a little damage this winter, which is odd because the other kales didn't. But it's making flowers, so that's good. But the winter before, not this winter, but the year before, it was rough. And I had none of my kales lived except this one. So I've been trying to like save seed from this one. Kind of on the wrong side, but I'm gonna zoom in on this. That is, those are tree collards, which I got as a little plant from the Project Tree Collard people last year. And it's done pretty good. It's just doing its thing. I think it's actually it might be making flower buds right now. Thought I saw some. Oh yeah, there they are. Right there. So I think some varieties are like more or less likely to flower, but this one looks like it is, so fine with me. More kale. Over here, this is Sochan, also known as cutleaf rudbeckia. So it's in the Rudbeckia echinacea family. This is a very important plant to, I think, like native tribes in like the central eastern part of the country. I think I learned about it from the Edgewood Nursery. Aaron Parker, I think he had some like talk on it, I think like a podcast. Anyway, it's a perennial vegetable, perennial green, and like right now is kind of the best time to eat it when it's young like this, and it does kind of spread. It's like formed this small colony here. It kind of pops up on the edges bigger and bigger, and it will make really tall flowers, like pretty yellow flowers that get very tall. So that's a very cool plant. Then growing right in it are some more nettles. I planted my nettles like over here, and there are not even very many over there, but they decided they want to come up elsewhere, so closer over here. I've been kind of pulling them and eating them, but they're spreading like, oh look, here's more. I'm spreading out a lot. And here we're coming to probably my most favorite perennial vegetable, Hibbertia temnoides. I have a smaller one in the front yard, but this is my oldest, biggest, bestest plant. I had two just like it. There was one right here, and it got eaten by voles. So sad. So I ordered 2 more plants from Edgewood Nursery, and there, that's one of them. Very small. If it can stay alive, it'll get big and strong too one day. But dang voles. Anyway, this plant is native to the like the Caucasus Mountains. There's a really cool video on YouTube where someone goes into like caves of Armenia or something. I think it's there, and they find this enormous colony of Hibbertia. It's growing wild in this cave. It's so cool. Anyway, it likes morning sun and afternoon shade, and it's vining. It gets super big. It went all the way up this thing. Sorry, my janky like MacGyver style trellises. So yeah, you can see these are like old crusty seeds and old flower bits from last year. It actually was taller. It went all the way up on this thing. It was like folded over. I should try to post some pictures like on my blog of its progression, but it gets going very early. And one of the great things about this plant is that you can eat it. Well, you can eat it when it's like this small, like a little baby. I don't like to eat it when it's this small because I just want it to get big, you know, let it grow. But you can eat the leaves like all year. It doesn't get tough, it doesn't get bitter. You can eat them fresh and you can eat them cooked. I just come out here in like October or whatever and just eat the leaves. Put them in your salad. Oh look, it's one of my cats, Cornflakes. He's a very good boy. He likes to visit me when I'm outside. So yeah, all-star plant. No problems except for the vole attack. That was kind of devastating. But yeah, excellent plant. Another drawback, I guess, is it's hard to get going from seed. It makes a ton of seeds and it will germinate, but then getting those little sprouts to like get off the ground and get through the first year can be dicey. I don't have much advice, just kind of like babying them and keeping them kind of protected, like mostly shaded, you know, just kind of keeping an eye on them. But yeah, slow to get going, but then once it does, it's great. I think I stung myself on these nettles just now. Hello. Next to that is some rhubarb. Everyone knows about rhubarb, most people. This is another one of the few good things that was here that came with the house. So I love this. It makes, you know, nice like fruit sauces mixed with strawberries. Also nice as a parasol for the kids. Oh look, you want some onion, buddy? No you don't. And here we have walking onion. Oh look, it's already starting to like want to make its flower. Walking onions are so cool. They're pretty well known in the perennial vegetable realm, but they make, instead of flowers, they make little bulbils on the top, like mini bulbs. So what it does is this will like grow up and then make its bulbs and then like fall over. Oh, sorry, bud, I startled him. It will fall over on the ground and take root and just make more. So they just kind of go up and then fall down and then make more, and then they just kind of travel that way. So I have some there, some there, some over there, some over there. So yeah, easy to grow, easy to make more of. I usually use them kind of like green onions. You can pull up the whole thing, like the bulb. It doesn't make like a big bulb, you know, like an onion, but you can eat them a lot sooner. Lots of dandelions, which, you know, I dig them up sometimes, but I like to leave them for the bugs. And you can eat them. They're great. They're so nutritious and very yummy. You can eat the stems of dandelions like noodles. In Stephen Barstow's Around the World in 80 Plants, which if if you have any interest in perennial vegetables, you must get that book. He talks about, he makes dandan noodles from the dandelion stems. And I tried it once, it was really good. They're tender like noodles. Here's another perennial allium. I have to get my own light here. This is a perennial leek. They're kind of too close together, I think. But I keep having these other like clumps that come up, and oh yeah, here's the tag. Got it from One Green World. But it's great. I use mostly as, you know, greens too. I just try to pull up the whole thing and chop it up and cook it. It makes nice, pretty round flowers. More oregano. These floppy things here, they keep kind of, the way they get tied up gets sliding. It's like keeps sliding down. This is 9-star perennial broccoli that I planted last year. I started from seeds and they've gotten pretty big. I need to tie them up better, goodness. I'm hoping this year they'll make broccolis. Those are still kind of new to me, but you know, any kind of brassica I can get my hands on. Nothing to see here, but ground nut lives here. I actually saw like a little tuber. Is that one? No, it's a rock. I don't know. Ground nut lives here. It's going later, so we'll see that in another video. Right here though, I have a few of these. There's one here. There's one right there. And there's one right there. This is black salsify. Salsify, I'm not really sure how to say it, I guess. Black salsify. This is a perennial vegetable. It's a root. It's a root crop. And this is much more like tap-rooted than the skirret. And it's also called like oyster root, I think, because the roots kind of taste a little oystery. It tastes good. It's probably, I like it a little bit less than skirret, but I think it's great. Another nice thing about this plant, I haven't done it, but I've heard you can eat the young leaves, and you can eat, I have eaten the flower buds. You can eat the flower buds. It makes really tall, beautiful yellow, kind of like dandelion style flowers. And the flowers smell like vanilla candy or like chocolate candy. They smell so good. It's crazy. Like valerian flowers smell great, and black salsify flowers smell amazing. So yeah, and that's another one that's pretty easy to divide. Not as easy as skirret because of its kind of semi tap-rooted nature, but it can be done. Be careful. And right down below that, this is crosnies, which is another root perennial vegetable. There's more over here. And there's more there, little babies. This is a mint, actually. It's in the mint family. One of its names is mint root, or also known as Chinese artichoke for some reason. Something to do with China or artichokes as far as I know, but it makes, instead of like a big old root, it makes teeny tiny little roots that look like maggots or grubs. I'm trying to see if I can find one. There was some kind of near the surface the other day. It's a mess. Anyway, I don't know. Oh, here's one. It looks kind of gross because it's been chewed. Here, see? There's a little grub in there. It's a crosney. A single crosney. But no, they actually taste really good. And because it runs kind of like mint, it spreads like mint. Instead of like one big root, you get lots and lots of little roots. And they're a little bit troublesome to clean because of their texture, but once you get it clean and you just roast them up, olive oil, salt, and butter, and that's same with this, same with skirret, just chop it and roast it. I'm not a creative cook. I just kind of, you know, does it taste good enough? Great. But no, these are good. They're really tender. I remember them being very tender when I roasted them. So yeah, I like that. So I got crosnies, black salsify, skirret, those root crops. Oh, and the or chestnut also. I've got a couple other new ones that haven't come up yet. Got the tag, that's exciting. Oka. I had oka years ago and I kind of let it die out when I wasn't as serious about perennial vegetables, so I'm kind of sad about that, but we're trying again. One thing that's really cool, I dare not eat this year, camas, like wonderful native indigenous food crop, bulb crop, super important to people of this area. And I can't remember where I got this, but this is it. Can't believe it. It's growing. It's so beautiful too. Makes beautiful blue flowers. So we're just gonna let that go. I'm not even gonna think about eating that one. But yeah, so perennial vegetable bed. I've got some other things kind of scattered throughout, and I probably forgot some things, but that's the majority. I'll just kind of take a glance down this way. This is the path to the front, well, the driveway really, and this was all grass. This fence wasn't here. We used to have some terrible neighbors, and there was no fence, and so we put a fence in to block them out. The guy would just like come over here. Anyway, can't see much of anything. Oh, here's a tiny nub in here. This is hosta. This is my hosta hallway that I've put lots more hostas in over the last couple years. Hosta is great. It's related to asparagus. Oh, I do have asparagus somewhere in the garden, but I kind of forgot about it. The small young shoots of hosta can be cut and cooked like asparagus. They taste good. I like that one. Another one that you can do that with is this here. This is Solomon seal, which is kind of like a nostalgic plant for me because we had one in my yard growing up as a kid. So that's why I planted it. And you can eat it like hosta too. I didn't like the taste so much. I don't know if I'll eat it again. It's fine. It's beautiful as an ornamental. Oh, don't look at my house. Lemon balm. I've got tons of lemon balm. I love it. Oh, it smells great. Great for tea. Great for bugs. Look at you, buddy. Well, Cornflakes says, thanks for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Bye.